Well, let's talk now to Paul Bodnar, who was a key architect of Barack Obama's international climate policies. He's now managing director of the Rocky Mountain Institute, which aims to transform global energy use to secure low-carbon future. Thank you so much for being here with us. A really general question first, having just listened to that. After 4 years of effectively being led by a climate change denier, how important is this moment to have Joe Biden go into the White House?
Well, it's a very important moment because we have no time to lose in accelerating our work to decarbonize, to reduce the carbon emissions of the global economy. Obviously, President-elect Biden has a packed agenda with COVID and trade and many other topics to focus on. But this is a topic which requires a bold action. The world needs the United States to become a climate leader. And the United States needs the rest of the world to take action as well if it is to avoid the most catastrophic impacts of climate change.
Joe Biden has promised a clean energy revolution. Just remind viewers briefly what that means, the key planks both domestically and internationally.
Certainly. Well, domestically, sector by sector, President-elect Biden has committed to a completely carbon-free electricity system by 2035. So 100% clean electricity as compared to about 40% now. He has made bold commitments to increase the rollout of electric vehicles, including support for electric vehicle infrastructure, tax credits for individual households purchasing EVs, and eventually I think we'll see the same kind of move the UK has made in phasing out internal combustion vehicle sales entirely. He has promised to take action on industry, whether it's limiting methane emissions or increasing research and development in low carbon technologies in industry as well.
It's a long list, but the bill is eye-watering, isn't it? It's in the trillions of dollars. Does that money have to come up front, and where does it come from?
Well, like anything, you have to make an investment to get a return. And although the costs are significant in the short term, in the medium and long term, they definitely pay off for Americans who are seeing right now their tax bills impacted by the need for the federal government to respond to a growing number of climate disasters.
But that's a guess, isn't it, that in the future there will be a payback. Do you think you can convince enough Americans? I know Joe Biden has won this election, but you need universal action right across the country, let alone globally. And with so many things, and this is one of them, there is a massive divide in the United States.
Well, you have to remember that Joe Biden ran on the most ambitious climate agenda ever proposed by a candidate, and he won a majority of Americans' votes.
Sure, but the point is 74 million Americans didn't back him, and you need a huge chunk of those on board with this.
Well, you do, but remember that for something like clean energy, it's just the cheapest option. So red states like Texas and Iowa are some of the most advanced in the United States in rolling out clean energy over fossil fuels. So it's a pocketbook issue, not just a political issue.
You've got to get international support as well, don't you? Because as well as change in America, so much, in a sense, is exported. You import so much from China. They're doing quite a lot of damage environmentally in the production of that. You've got to somehow make all of those things join up, don't you?
You do. But what you've seen in the last few weeks alone is that China, Japan, Korea, and the European Union as well have made commitments to a completely net zero emissions future. So for the US, it's a case of catching up to some extent and winning those markets for clean technologies that have rapidly emerged.
Just a final quick thought then. What do you think the US looks like in 2024?
In terms of political,
in terms of climate?
I think the U.S. will have reassumed its leadership role globally. And whereas, the last decade was focused on negotiating the Paris Agreement, which contrary to Donald Trump's assertions is alive and well and does not negatively impact economic prosperity, we will have shifted to a mode of action from negotiations. And hopefully we'll see the powers of the world, including China and the U.S., working together.
Paul, we've run out of time, but thanks so much for your time. I'm back.